rarest pickup trucks in American history have almost been forgotten, like the denim-covered Dodge Jean Machine, the ultra-rare 1962 GMC Railroad Crew Cab, with only 6 ever made, and the mysterious 1979 GMC Sierra Mule. These trucks weren't made for the spotlight, but today, they're prized for their unique designs and bold ideas. And that's just the beginning. There are plenty more hidden gems in our full list. The 20 rarest and weirdest pickups you never knew about. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to Classic Car Archive. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss another forgotten classic. 1. 1970 to 1971, Dodge D100. Dude. Starting our list is one of the quirkiest and rarest pickups ever made. The Dodge D100 Dude, produced for just 2 short years, 1970 to 1971. The name alone is unforgettable, but this truck was much more than a catchy badge. It was Dodge's bold attempt to blend muscle car attitude with pickup utility, and the result was something truly special. The Dude stood out instantly thanks to its signature C-stripe decals in black or white, and the unmistakable Dodge Dude badging placed near the rear marker lights. The flat tailgate with a bold Dodge decal only added to its standout look, a styling move rarely seen at the time. But the real magic was under the hood. Buyers could choose between the reliable 318 V8 or the beastly 383 cubic inch V8, which cranked out up to 335 horsepower. Serious power for a pickup, especially in the early 70s. It was a perfect match for gearheads who wanted muscle car performance in truck form. What makes the Dude so rare? Production numbers are fuzzy, but experts estimate only 100 to 2,000 units were ever built, and far fewer have survived. The Dodge D100 Dude isn't just a truck. It's a snapshot of a wild era when automakers weren't afraid to take risks, and sometimes those risks became legends. 2.1975 GMC Sierra Classic Gentleman Jim. Next on our list is a truck that brought a touch of class to the pickup world. The 1975 GMC Sierra Classic Gentleman Jim. While most trucks were built for work, this one rolled onto the scene dressed to impress. With its sleek black and gold paint job, it looked more like a luxury coupe than a farm truck. Inside, it was all about comfort, bucket seats, plush materials, and even an AM/FM/8-track stereo. High-end stuff for the 70s. But don't let the fancy looks fool you. Under the hood sat a 350 cubic inch V8 pushing out 165 horsepower, offering a smooth yet capable ride. Compared to the rugged Dodge Dude, the Gentleman Jim was the tuxedoed cousin, quieter, more refined, and built in similarly low numbers, estimated between 1,000 to 2,500 units. It wasn't just a pickup, it was a statement. Today, finding one in good condition is like stumbling across a mint 70s Cadillac in a barn. Rare and absolutely glorious. 3. 1991 to 1992, Ford F-150 Nite. Sleek, stealthy, and built to stand out in the dark, the 1991 to 1992 Ford F-150 Nite Edition was Ford's way of adding muscle and mystery to America's best-selling truck. Dressed entirely in raven black paint and with vibrant multicolor striping, the Nite was a head-turner on any road. But it wasn't just a pretty face. Available only on the XLT Lariat trim, it came with a 5.0-liter V8 engine, sport suspension, and alloy wheels, giving it both looks and legit performance. Ford gave it some swagger, and it worked. While exact numbers are murky, experts estimate between 1,500 to 2,500 units were made. That makes this two-year wonder a relatively rare sight today, and a hot item for collectors who love their trucks with a little attitude. 4. 1991 Ford Sky Ranger. Ever seen a pickup convertible? Meet the 1991 Ford Sky Ranger, a short-lived marvel that turned the traditional truck world on its head. Designed by American Sunroof Company, ASC, and professional auto crafters, this wasn't your typical Ford off the line. It was a custom build that blended utility with open-air fun. The Sky Ranger featured a retractable soft top, giving drivers the freedom to soak in the sun or rain whenever they pleased. And it wasn't just about looks. A 4.0-liter V6 engine produced 160 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed manual transmission and 4-wheel drive, making it as trail-ready as it was eye-catching. How rare is it? Try only 17 to 19 units ever built. That's unicorn-level rare. The Sky Ranger is a perfect example of what happens when creativity meets capability. And 5. 1986 to 1990 Ram Rod Hall Signature Edition. Now let's talk off-road pedigree. The Dodge Ram Rod Hall Signature Edition wasn't just a special trim. It was a legit racing-inspired beast, co-developed with legendary off-road racer Rod Hall. These trucks were built for serious terrain and serious fans of Baja-style adventures. The first wave hit in 1986 to 1987, with only 14 units produced. But here's the twist. Due to suspension problems, only 9 were retrofitted and actually sold. Then, in 1990, Dodge came back with 33 more units, better built and ready to rip. Under the hood, a solid 5.2-liter V8 with 170 horsepower, linked to a 3-speed automatic transmission. Throw in bed-mounted roll bars, off-road lights, and beefed-up suspension, and you've got a truck ready to hit the desert. Built in tiny numbers and inspired by a racing legend, the Rod Hall Ram is the definition of off-road rarity. A collector's dream with real dirt track credentials. 6. 1978 Dodge Midnight Express. You've heard of the Lil Red Express, but have you met its darker, moodier sibling? Enter the 1978 Dodge Midnight Express, a truck cloaked in mystery and dripping with attitude. This special edition was a rare sight even when new, with its deep black paint, gold pinstriping, and bold Midnight Express truck decals, giving it an unmistakable street presence. Under the hood was serious firepower, a 440 cubic inch V8, the same engine found in Dodge's Warlock, estimated to crank out around 225 horsepower. That's big muscle wrapped in a black tuxedo ready to rumble. So why is it so rare? Only about 200 units were reportedly produced, and a fire at the dealership responsible for the conversions destroyed official records, adding to its mystique. It's part muscle truck, part urban legend, and 100% collector gold today. 7. 1987 GMC Sierra California Sundancer. Next up is a sun-soaked slice of West Coast cool, the 1987 GMC Sierra California Sundancer. This truck was all about vibes. Think bright yellow paint, two-tone blue pinstripes, and a design aimed squarely at SoCal dreamers. It wasn't just a truck, it was a rolling beach party. Built specifically for the Southern California market, the Sundancer featured a sunroof, tubular steel bumpers, and Bilstein shocks for that perfect balance of flair and function. Power came from a trusty 5.7-liter 350 cubic inch V8, putting out 175 to 210 horsepower, depending on the setup and emissions equipment. Only about 12 units were ever made, making this one of the rarest pickups GMC ever produced. Spotting one today is like catching a shooting star. Blink and you'll miss it. 8. 1984 Chevrolet K10 Snow Chaser. Let's head north, way north, for the 1984 Chevrolet K10 Snow Chaser, a purpose-built 4x4 that laughed in the face of winter. With a name like Snow Chaser, you know it wasn't afraid of a blizzard. Sporting a bold red paint job with gold stripes and a bed-mounted cab spoiler, it looked just as good carving through snow as it did parked at the lodge. Underneath, this thing meant business. A 6.6-liter, 400 cubic inch V8 pumping out around 190 horsepower, paired with four-wheel drive and factory snow tires. It was built for grip, guts, and snow-covered glory. Only 150 to 300 units were ever made, making it a rare snow warrior and a serious collector's prize. If you ever see one still wearing chains and chewing through powder, snap a photo. That's a piece of winter truck history. 9. 1977 GMC Sierra Indy 500. In 1977, GMC brought race day energy to the pickup world with the Sierra Indy 500 edition, a limited-run truck celebrating the brand's ties to the legendary race. With its bold red and white two-tone paint, Indy 500 decals, and chin spoiler, it was born to stand out. Buyers could choose from a variety of configurations: fleet side or fender side, 2- or 4-wheel drive. And under the hood, it ran a solid 350 cubic inch V8, producing 165 to 175 horsepower, depending on the setup. Paired with either a 3-speed auto or 4-speed manual, it offered both power and versatility. Fewer than 1,500 units were made, and with its blend of rugged utility and racing-inspired flair, the Indy 500 Sierra remains a rare and desirable truck that brings a little checkered flag flavor to the pickup world. 10. 1976 Dodge D100 Spirit of 76. In 1976, Dodge celebrated America's bicentennial with one of the most patriotic pickups ever made, the D100 Spirit of 76. Dressed head to toe in red, white, and blue, this special edition proudly wore star-spangled decals, bright moldings, and unique wheel covers, making it look more like a 4th of July parade float than your average work truck. Inside, it offered a touch of class with a premium bench seat in either cloth vinyl or all vinyl, along with color-keyed floor mats, giving it a splash of style to match its patriotic theme. Under the hood, Dodge gave buyers a range of engines to choose from. The trusty 225 cubic inch slant 6 with 105 horsepower, a 318 V8 delivering around 140 horsepower, or a more powerful 360 V8, pushing out roughly 200 horsepower, 175 horsepower. You could pair any of these with a 3-speed manual or an optional automatic transmission, making it versatile for a variety of drivers. With production numbers estimated anywhere between 15 and a few hundred units, the Spirit of 76 remains one of Dodge's rarest and most symbolically rich trucks, a true rolling tribute to American pride and engineering. 1978 Ford F-150 freewheeling. Back in the colorful days of the late 70s, Ford dropped a truck that was all about fun and flair. The 1978 F-150 Freewheeling Edition. Drenched in vibrant multicolor stripes, a blacked-out grille, and a whole lot of 70s attitude. This truck didn't just turn heads, it practically demanded attention. It wasn't all show, either. Buyers had a range of engines to pick from, starting with a 200 cubic inch inline-six, making around 110 horsepower, all the way up to a massive 460 cubic inch V8, cranking out around 230 horsepower. Whether you wanted economy or earth-shaking torque, the freewheeling had you covered. Made for a limited time, this truck is now a rare artifact of 70s truck culture, perfect for anyone chasing that era's loud, bold, and unapologetic vibes. Twelfth, 2004 to 2005 Dodge Ram 1500 Hemi GTX. In the early 2000s, Dodge decided to blend old-school muscle car swagger with modern truck toughness, and the result was the Ram 1500 Hemi GTX. This special edition wasn't just about performance, it was a full-on tribute to Mopar heritage, with bold colors like Hemi Orange and Plum Crazy Purple straight out of the muscle car playbook. Under the hood, it packed a punch with a 5.7-liter Hemi 5.8, pushing out 340 horsepower and 375 pound-feet of torque. Mated to a 5-speed automatic transmission for smooth, confident power delivery. And it looked the part too, with custom striping, dual exhaust, and exclusive badging that made it pop on the road. Dodge limited production to just 10,000 units. So while it's not the rarest truck ever made, the Hemi GTX remains a seriously cool and collectible piece of early 2000s muscle truck history. 13th, 1976 to 1983. Jeep J10 Honcho. In a sea of square-bodied pickups, the Jeep J10 Honcho stood tall as a rebel. Built from 1976 to 1983, the Honcho didn't just carry stuff, it carried attitude. With bold graphics, flared fenders, and off-road chops, it was ready to hit the trail straight from the showroom. Engine options were no joke, especially the 401 cubic inch V8, which packed serious punch, until it was discontinued in 1979 due to tightening emissions rules. Buyers could choose from townside or the rarer sportside stepside bed, the latter seeing only about 5,000 to 8,000 units produced. The Honcho wasn't just a truck, it was a lifestyle statement, and today, it's a highly sought-after 4x4 with legit off-road cred and classic Jeep charm. '14, 1975 to 1980. Chevrolet C10 Big 10. The Chevrolet Big 10 wasn't flashy, but it was sneaky. Produced from 1975 to 1980, this wasn't a standalone model. It was a special package that turned the standard C10 into a serious workhorse. Think heavy-duty brakes, upgraded springs, stronger tires, and a 12-bolt rear axle. But the real trick? The Big 10 flew under the radar of tighter emissions laws, which meant it could still rock big block engines like the 454 V8, making up to 270 horsepower, depending on the setup. That's serious brawn in a half-ton pickup. Unfortunately, as emissions regulations caught up in 1980, the Big 10 was forced to ride off into the sunset. 15.2006 Chevrolet Silverado Intimidator SS. If you loved NASCAR, or just trucks with serious attitude, The 2006 Chevrolet Silverado Intimidator SS was built with you in mind. Designed as a tribute to the late great Dale Earnhardt, this special edition came in glossy black, with Intimidator badging, embroidered headrests, and Earnhardt's signature on the tachometer. It wasn't just for show. Under the hood was a 6.0-liter Vortec 5.8, delivering 345 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque, backed by a performance-tuned suspension, Tenneco shocks, and a stiffer front stabilizer bar for sharper handling. Chevy planned to build 1,333 units, but only 933 were actually completed, making this a true collector's rarity. Equal parts muscle and tribute, the Intimidator SS stands as one of the boldest Silverado editions ever made. 16. 1997 to 1998 Chevrolet S10 EV. Before electric pickups were trendy, Chevrolet quietly made history with the S10 EV, one of the first all-electric pickup trucks ever produced by a major automaker. Released from 1997 to 1998, this trailblazing truck was way ahead of its time. Built not for showrooms, but mostly for fleet use, like utility companies and government fleets. Under the hood, or rather under the floor, was an all-electric powertrain, capable of modest but practical performance for short-range urban and commercial use. While it wasn't a speed demon, it marked an important early step toward the EV revolution we're seeing today. Chevrolet produced between 492 and 1,100 units, depending on the source, with most leased and later decommissioned. Only a handful, reportedly fewer than 60 trucks, ever made it into private hands. That makes surviving S10 EVs exceptionally rare, turning them into fascinating collectibles and conversation starters for anyone interested in the evolution of electric vehicles. $17.1962 GMC Railroad Crew Cab. Now here's one that's about as rare as it gets. The 1962 GMC Railroad Crew Cab wasn't built for show. It was built for railroad work crews. In fact, just 6 of these crew cabs rolled out of the factory, all purpose-built for the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. Designed for function above all else, these trucks were built tough and roomy, tailored specifically for transporting teams of workers. Engine choices included a 283 cubic inch V6 that made about 165 horsepower, or the massive 478 cubic inch V8, pumping out well over 300 horsepower, serious muscle for heavy-duty applications. These trucks were custom-built workhorses, not dealer specials, and their extremely limited production means spotting one today is like seeing Bigfoot in steel-toed boots, a rare and powerful beast. (18) 1987 Ford Bigfoot Cruiser. In 1987, Ford decided to bring monster truck magic to the streets with the Bigfoot Cruiser, inspired by the legendary Bigfoot monster truck and produced with help from Bob Chandler, the man behind the original beast. This street-legal monster featured oversized tires, a chrome roll bar with KC fog lights, and a lifted suspension. Basically, it was a dream come true for every kid who had a Bigfoot toy truck growing up. Power varied from a 105 horsepower 4.9-liter inline-6 to the mighty 7.5-liter 460 cubic inch 5.8, delivering up to 240 horsepower. Around 300 units were built across various models like the F-150, F-250, and even the Ranger. But a cruise control fire issue led to recalls, cutting its run short. 1978 Dodge Jean Machine. Only the 70s could produce something like this. The 1978 Dodge Jeans machine. Yep, you read that right. This special edition truck came with a denim-inspired interior that looked like someone upholstered the cabin in your favorite pair of Levi's. Blue fabric, contrast stitching, and a whole vibe that screamed funky, fun, and fashion-forward. Outside, it rocked bold retro graphics that ensured you wouldn't miss it rolling down the road. Under the hood, buyers could choose from familiar Dodge power plants, starting with the trusty 318 V8 and going all the way up to the 440 V8, pushing 140 to 225 horsepower, depending on the setup. How many were made? No one really knows, but they were built in very limited numbers. That combo of funky style and serious power makes the Jeans machine one of the quirkiest and most collectible trucks Dodge ever released. 20. 1979 GMC Sierra Mule. Concluding our journey through rare American pickups, we spotlight the enigmatic 1979 GMC Sierra Mule. This special edition, shrouded in mystery, featured a distinctive design that set it apart from standard models. Equipped with a powerful V8 engine, it delivered impressive performance characteristic of GMC's engineering prowess. While exact specs for the Sierra Mule remain elusive, it's believed these trucks were equipped with one of GMC's high-performance V8 engines available at the time. Likely candidates include the 350 cubic inch 5.7-liter small block V8, producing around 165 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque, or the even beefier 454 cubic inch 7.4-liter big block V8, which delivered up to 240 horsepower. Serious grunt for a pickup of that era. Top speed would have hovered around 100 miles per hour, but this mule wasn't built for speed. It was built for presence and power. What truly elevates the mule to legendary status is its rarity. Only 12 units were ever built, making it one of the most elusive trucks GMC ever produced. The exact purpose behind its creation remains unclear, adding to the allure and fascination among collectors. The Sierra Mule's ultra-limited production, mysterious origins, and muscular performance make it a highly sought-after collector's item, cementing its place as a lasting icon in the world of rare American pickups. The rarest pickup trucks in American history aren't just vehicles. They're rolling pieces of art, innovation, and grit. From one-off prototypes to obscure dealer specials like the Dodge Jean machine and the elusive GMC Sierra Mule, these trucks tell stories that go far beyond the road. They capture a bold era of American engineering where limits were meant to be broken. If you're passionate about automotive legends and hidden gems, don't miss out. Subscribe to Classic Car Archive, like, share, and ride along as we uncover more of the rarest machines ever built.